India is a country with a vast and vivid culture with more than 122 languages. India is the second most populated country in the world. India is a developing country. It has been for a long time. But the development was very slow and poor after independence. The period from 1950 to 1990 is generally known as the Hindu rate of growth. This is in stark contrast in comparison to the miracle of Han River in South Korea. The economy was based more on central planning and socialist reforms. This meant that there was less freedom for various companies to sell their products. Green Revolution in India started after 1967, which helped the country in increasing agricultural production. This revolution helped the country in becoming self-sufficient and is a big factor in making India an agrarian economy. In 1991, India was almost bankrupt, facing the balance of payment crisis. India pledged its gold reserves to IMF for a bailout loan. A set of reforms made by Dr. Manmohan Singh under the direction of Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao helped the country in recovery. The most important step taken by Narasimha Rao was to dismantle the license Raj. This bold move, along with the reforms, culminated the growth story. During the same period, when the global crisis was at its peak, India was still enjoying an 8% growth, but India eventually came to see the effects in the form of a very uncomfortable inflation rate and a huge rise in prices.
Inflation, you see, today is a very common term and everyone reads about it, everyone listens about it. Maybe the government, maybe the politicians who are campaigning for elections, maybe the common man on the street, or the bankers, economists, everyone talks about inflation today. If you open the daily newspaper, first page definitely in some reflection of inflation, talking about common man's difficulty in facing inflation.
Now let us understand what really inflation is.
Inflation in a layman's term is too much of money in the economy which is chasing too little goods. See, there are two things in the economy, goods and money. As the economy goes, what happens is that economy produces money. That money doesn't get absorbed into the economy back through various channels. If it is flying around, and that will chase the asset prices.
There are two types of inflation. One is cost push inflation and the other is demand pull inflation.
If there is less demand, so that means you do not have a very high number of products available in the market, but people have money to buy. So so that these are called demand side constraint leading to inflation.
Any country, inflation is a worrying factor because number one, it erodes the value of money. It discourages investment because people start hoarding the money or goods, even goods.
Inflation can also happen when there is supply side constraint. So that means you do not necessarily have a lot of money, and so that ends up making sure that products and services are also not available, and that can also lead to inflation because of supply side scarcity.
Earlier, if we are taking the onion, earlier when I came to Mumbai, it is 20 to 25 rupees. Now it is increased up to 75 to 100. So that is a big difference. So people are forced to reduce use of onion. So that way we are changing. And cooking method also we are changing, buying process we are changing.
टमाटर अभी जब सस्ता था तो बिकता था ज़्यादा, इस समय टमाटर महंगा है, 30-40 रुपये किलो, तो लोग कम लेते हैं। जो 1 किलो लेने वाले थे अभी वो 5 किलो लेते हैं, आधा किलो। तो प्याज 30 रुपया बिकना चाहिए, लेकिन क्या है, मुंबई के लोगों को मालूम, पास एरिया मुंबई, तो दुकानदार भी चला गए जो बेचने वाले हैं, तो उनको मालूम जो हाई फाई या उनको 40 या 80 बोलेंगे, और जैसे जो आम आदमी एरिया के ग्राहक जाएंगे उनको ज़्यादा नहीं बोले, उनको ज़्यादा बोले तो लेंगे नहीं।
अभी जितना महंगाई हो गया है, पैसा जैसे पैसा आता है ऐसे खरीदना पड़ता है, जैसे 2 दिन 5 दिन हफ्ता 5-10 दिन ऐसे खरीदना पड़ता है।
मान लीजिए हमको ज़रूरत है कोई आइटम है, हमको 100 पीसेस चाहिए, लेकिन हम उसको इम्पोर्ट कर रहे हैं 500 पीस का। एक्चुअली में होना क्या चाहिए, जितनी ज़रूरत है उतना इंपोर्ट करो, नहीं ज़रूरत है इंपोर्ट मत करो, तो ऑटोमेटिकली जो है प्राइस कंट्रोल में आ जाएगा।
business is not investing in India rather than taking their money outside. So when they take their money outside, that means they are not investing enough in India to create newer products, goods, services.
The rise in the cost of basic goods generally starts with the rise in oil prices. When the transportation costs increase, it affects all the products.
International prices are fuel inflation. And dollar is also depreciated for the last 3-4 years. So that cost is also adding up. So ultimately what will happen is the inflation will really kill the value of the money itself.
Your parents, your earlier generation, they used to pay the quantum of money to get some services or products to buy daily necessities. It was very different. They must be paying in rupees. Now you are paying in hundreds of rupees. If they were paying hundreds of rupees, you are paying in thousands of rupees. So definitely the prices of commodities, prices of services has gone up over the years.
Let us take an example here. If you have rupees 100 to buy 10 onions, but there are only 5 onions available in the market, in this case the onion prices go up and so does your expenditure. So instead of paying rupees 10 per onion, you have to pay 20.
हमको घर पे कोई सामान चाहिए 2 नग, लेकिन हम खरीद के लेके आ रहे हैं 5 नग, जो कि हमको जरूरत नहीं है, बाजार में इजीली अवेलेबल है, तो क्यों खरीद के लेके आना है? वो भी एक रीजन है कि प्राइस जो है उसकी वजह से कंट्रोल में नहीं आ रहा है और प्राइस की डिमांड ज़्यादा हो जाती है, जो कि नकली है, होना नहीं चाहिए.
Entire India inflation is basically food driven because the two things in fact. One is the money supply is coming. Second thing is supply is reducing. Supply reducing, one is I told you investment deficit is there in the agriculture. Second is also scrambled land holding.
The way our demographic situation is, okay, we are a very large and populous country. So all our land holdings are very small. When the land holdings are small, what happens is that, when you come to another generation, the land holding gets divided.
Recently, what is happening is we are converting this agricultural land into the real estate land.
When land holding gets divided, then doing quality cultivation becomes difficult or challenging. You cannot use mechanization. It is suboptimal.
If some year, and we are totally dependent on monsoon for our success of our agriculture, some year monsoon fails. This year, let us say, there has been too much of cyclones, too much of floods. So you have total destruction or partial destruction of the agricultural product.
Even though 60 to 65% of Indian population is involved in agriculture, the output is only less than, it is I think less than 20% of India's GDP. So that imbalance is there.
See, when did we done the major ticket investments in the economy and in the agricultural segment? No, we've not done it. We've done the major agricultural reforms only in 60s, even when the Green Revolution taken place. After that, we have not taken any major agricultural investments.
Under this Manrega, say 100 days of wages is given to everybody. So there the productivity is not seen. So that actually drives up the inflation. I mean, money is given to them, but they are not productively giving the output to the economy to increase its productivity.
Mumbai doesn't operate directly with a supplier. There is always a middleman who keeps his profit margin the same, whether it is inflation or whether there is no inflation. He is not bothered about his profit margin. That is why in a place like Mumbai, agricultural commodities, essential items, they have a tendency to immediately and quickly respond to any increase in input or increase in prices.
Your economy is not generating enough growth or is not creating enough capacity or enough investment.
रॉ मटेरियल भी महंगा है, तो बहुत सारे हमारे इंटरनल रीजन है जिसकी वजह से भी महंगाई जो है वो कम होने का नाम नहीं ले रही.
It is primarily internal factors which are driving inflation in India.
महंगाई की वजह से आदमी जो काम पहले 1000 रुपये में करता था उसी काम के लिए आज उसको 20,000 रुपया सैलरी चाहिए, और इतनी इंडस्ट्री में कमाई नहीं है कि हम उसको इतनी पगार दे सकें।
Due to the high rise in prices, some people have lost their businesses, their savings, and even their homes.
इन्फ्लेशन बढ़ने का कारण गवर्नमेंट की गलत पॉलिसी। जब मार्केट क्रैश होता में गोल्ड का बिजनेस चल जाता, तो बिजनेस में जो भी पैसा धंधा बंद करके लोगों का जो पैसा वो दे के कम्प्लीट किया, स्कूल का पढ़े लोग, बच्चे लोग का पढ़े वो भी सब कम हो गया, जो पढ़ने का जो ख्वाब था वो सब बंद हो गया सबका। फिर रहने के लिए अभी घर था वो भी निकाल के अभी भाड़े पे घूमना पड़ता है, क्योंकि पैसा जाएगा तो काम रहेगा, तो पैसा है नहीं है तो काम होने का सवाल ही नहीं है। इन्फ्लेशन बढ़ने से एक तो जीना दुर्भर हो गया लोगों का, सबसे बड़ा क्या कमाना है क्या कमाना है किसी को मालूम पड़ता नहीं है। रोज दिन रात महंगाई बढ़ती है, आज 8 रुपये किलो है तो कल 20 रुपये, अभी आलू कांदा जो भी है 80-60 रुपये, 80-90-100 रुपये किलो कहाँ से लाएंगे लोग, क्या खाएंगे उसमें। मतलब सब तरह से महंगाई लोगों को ही किधर भी लगती है।
We can see from the point of view of a housewife how inflation has affected their daily budget and their living standards.
खरीदना पड़ रहा है, पेट है चलाना पड़ रहा है, लाइट चलाना है तो बिल भी भरना है। अभी तुम आधा पेट खा के भी भरो, ठीक फुल पेट खा के भी भरो, उसको तो भरना है। चाहे 2 लाइट जलाओ तो भी महीने में 500 रुपये आ रहा है
सब। और पिकनिक भेजना मतलब एक एक अनेक खर्चा है, सब कोई बीमार पड़ गए, अगर मान लो मेरा रोज का 200-400 कमाई है तो उसमें बीमार पड़ गया, डॉक्टर का पैसा और ये सब इतना निकालना भारी पड़ता है, सब खर्चा बहुत भारी।
अभी इधर हमारे इधर पूरा खेती होता है और खाली बारिश में 4 महीना खाली खेती होता है, बाद में हम लोग को कुछ करते नहीं, बारिश में खेती करते हैं। अभी हमको कुछ काम नहीं, कुछ नहीं।
Low productivity in agriculture is not the only problem we face. Corruption also affects the whole country, which includes the low-class citizens such as farmers.
हमारे ऑफिस में ग्राम सेवक रहते हैं, ग्राम सेवक तलाटी वही लोग खाते हैं। हमारे उधर हमारे पास पैसा वो आता नहीं, वही लोग खाते हैं। आता है लेकिन थोड़ा आता है, कभी उधर से 10-20 हज़ार आएगा तो उधर हमको 700-800 रुपये देते हैं वो लोग, उतना ही पैसा आया है। और हम बैंक में सरकार में जो गया ना, हम लोन भी मिलता है, हमको लोन मिलता है 1 लाख 2 लाख मिलता है लोन, लेकिन वो फेरना मांगते हैं, नहीं फेरेगा ना तो लोग कुछ हमारा खेती बीती लिख के लेते हैं। सरकार हमको मदद करते हैं, नहीं करता ना ऐसा नहीं, लेकिन वो फेड़ करना मांगते हैं। हाँ, वो झीनी का बात बोलते हैं ना, वो 2500 रुपया क्विंटल जाता है, और रत्ना रहते हैं ना वो 1600-1700 क्विंटल जाता है, और जया रहते हैं ना वो 1200-1300 रुपये क्विंटल जाते हैं। जो खेती में कमाता है ना वो बच्चे को कुछ कपड़ा, कुछ उसको हमें चावल तो हमारा खुद का रहता है, वो सब्जी वब्जी लाने के लिए वो बचते चावल वो बेचने का, उसमें बच्चे को कपड़ा, कुछ सब्जी वब्जी वो कुछ रहता है और उसमें एडजस्ट करने का। 1 साल वो कुछ बचता नहीं, खाली हमारा हो जाता है, भागता है, पैसा कुछ बचता नहीं।
Five years ago, we have more money to go to the picnic like that or movies. Nowadays, we are cutting down that because we have to adjust to household and children's fees and like that. So we have more concentrating on that only than our relaxing method. This all we have to cut down.
Normally what happens then what people will do, they will go for the basic necessities first. They will try to fulfill the basic necessities first and then they will go to luxury goods. So in this case the demand for the luxury goods normally reduces.
We are currently in a kind of a slowdown because of the high current account deficit, wherein our imports are much more than our exports, so that increases our current account deficit.
Income, disposable income in hands, it goes down, and so ultimately it affects the life of any man. So it has affected me also.
So inflation is inevitable because cost goes up, but if the cost goes up from 11 rupees to 12 rupees, 13 rupees, 15 rupees in quick succession, then it translates to an inflation and impact on the common people.
कि महंगाई के साथ में लोगों की इनकम भी बढ़ी है। जो व्यक्ति पहले 500 रुपया कमाता था वो आज 5000 रुपया भी कमा रहा है, तो उसकी जो खर्च करने की कैपेसिटी है वो भी बढ़ी है, लोगों की रिक्वायरमेंट भी बढ़ी है। चाहे उसको ज़रूरत है कि नहीं है, लेकिन उसकी जो नीड है वो पहले से बहुत ज़्यादा हो गई है, और हमारी खर्च करने की जो ताकत बढ़ी है वो भी एक कारण है महंगाई का और इन्फ्लेशन का, दोनों बात।
हर चीज में महंगा, लाइटेर बिल से हर चीज।
As an Indian, we are more concentrated on saving. Now we are cut down that saving because we have to spend that money for completing the full month spendings.
For the common man in India is impacted most. What happens is that if there is very high inflation for a long period of time, what it is essentially happening is that the value of money that you are holding, is coming down year on year.
Poor people, they actually are the worst sufferers of inflation, and also the investing community also. So today if I am investing 100 rupees and if I get a return of say 10%, so after 1 year I will get 110 rupees, say if the return is 10% per year. But if the inflation is going to be, currently for October the inflation was at 7%. So if 7% is going to be inflation, so 3% is my real return.
In villages, you have some amount of production which is locally available. The price of that product doesn't increase substantially in a short period of time. Whereas in a metro like Mumbai, everything is imported, everything is brought from other centers.
Actually, the poor man gets hit the hardest in case of high inflation, which we are seeing in India currently.
Food inflation is high in India. Food inflation, if we look at, so it is nearly at around 18 to 20%. It's been hovering in that particular range.
रीजन सबसे बड़ा भ्रष्टाचार है देश का।
Corruption has always been a deep-rooted problem in the country. It has killed a lot of opportunities for the country to grow at its full potential.
In the current scenario, if you say, everyone is talking of policy paralysis. The government does not have the fixed policy, but the reason for this is political instability. Because there is political instability at the center, they are unable to take any decisions.
In India, salary is very less. With the salary, they cannot meet the expenditure. And if the salary is more, according to the work they are doing, so they don't need to get the bribe or anything. So people don't go for bribe then. They will do their work like that. So if government wanted to reduce the bribe, first they have to see that how they are paying. It is enough to meet that people's need.
कुछ सरकार की जो पॉलिसीज है, टैक्सेशन पॉलिसीज है, या उनकी लाइसेंस की पॉलिसी है, या फैक्ट्री लगाने के लिए जितने भी कानून कायदे हैं, वो सब इतने जटिल है कि उसके वजह से लोगों की कॉस्ट भी बढ़ती जा रही है, लोगों को परेशानी भी हो रही है।
Let us not encourage consumption of luxury items in this country. We still don't need it. We don't need a car of 1 crore, a yacht of 10 crores in this country. We don't need it. We should not encourage consumption where that consumption doesn't help producing something else. We call it unproductive expenditure.
Government can take various steps to control high level of inflation. Some of these are actually steps that RBI takes on a day-to-day or a month-to-month level, which is actually controlling the supply of money in the market. So that can stabilize inflation to some extent. But however, there are limited impact of monetary policy being able to contain inflation.
Government can contain inflation by increasing the productivity. So by going for better supply chain management.
Hoarding of supplies, should be stopped. Government should ensure that there is no hoarding of vegetables, then fruits, or even any food grains.
So long-term strategy has to be to create a culture of productive expenditure for people, so that demand is contained. At the same time, government also has to think long-term to create capacities, to create infrastructure, create capacity to meet demand. So both demand has to be limited as well as the supply has to match the demand. That's how it can be done.
See, moderate inflation is always good for the country because it spurs growth.
So inflation is basically something called underlying prosperity. The only thing is you need to properly channelize it. I don't feel it's per se as bad. Maybe it should be in control, maybe around below 5%. So good for the economy.
एक बात मैं जरूर कहना चाहूँगा कि यदि किसी चीज़ की आपको ज़रूरत नहीं है तो उसको आप न खरीदें, उससे आपका बजट भी मेंटेन होगा और मार्केट में अगर डिमांड कम होगी तो नेचुरली ये प्राइस बढ़ेगा नहीं।
तो चलता ही रहेगा, बढ़ते ही रहेगा, कम नहीं आएगा।
Productive consumption is, I will give you an example. You take example of FMCG, fast moving consumer goods is a productive consumption, because the more you consume, the more it gets produced. It's a item of mass production. So when item of mass production is increasing, the industry will never suffer. The industry also will keep on flourishing. Today the culture is to spend upfront disproportionate amount of money on things which are not required and create a credit culture which spoils everything. If we can contain our system of consumption by adhering to some values, then I think that creation of value will help us.
हर चीज सस्ता हो जाएगी तो हर जनता खुश हो जाएगी, सब मंत्रियों को दुआ मिलेगी।
Our economy still has a potential to become a superpower, but the common man's life still has a long way to go for an improvement.